You're watching Blitz TV.
So with all that in mind, what was kind of the last thing that you guys read or witnessed that kind of put you in a creative mode? Like, what was your last influence to write something? I know you said you haven't written a song since putting this record together, but has there been anything that kind of sparked a thought that you're like, that might be a good idea that's kind of affected me somehow?
I read a lot. I read a lot of books, and I try to read a lot of like music biography books. I just read a David Byrne book called How Music Works. And he was in a band called Talking Heads. If you don't
Psycho
know.
Killer, one of my favorites. Yeah.
And his whole thing is like how music works is it's all connected. You know, like visually and the sound of it and the lyrics. It's all connected, and that really inspired me. Especially in a time when everything is streaming and numbers and charts and corporate and that's okay. I mean, we're not people to stand on a grandstand and bitch about the state of the current music industry, but it's different than it was when we started. You know, like we have a couple gold records and we know that'll probably never happen again, and we're in a different place. But what's beautiful about that to me is I still think that if you are honest and you work your ass off and you make a product that is
resemblance of that
is a result of that, and you make a product that people can look at and go, oh my God, that's for me. You know what I mean? Like I relate to that. I understand that. That makes me feel this way, or that lyric touches me this way or that way. And that's been my most recent thing by reading that Talking Heads pieces. That's what he talks about. He talks about how in today's music world, it's so different and it's so fast. Especially with DJs and hip hop, they put out a song every 3 weeks. The album format is gone. But if you make something that you really, really believe in and that people can really, really gravitate towards, you're doing something special. And
you can't.
That's what I care about.
You can't force that. That's just you're going to be honest about stuff, and it's going to connect. Or, if you don't have something to say, maybe don't put anything out at the time. That's the important thing that, as far as rock music goes, in my opinion. Like that's why rock music's always been for the damaged. I feel like, and people that need something.
That's true.
And I feel like
it is the most cathartic music. I don't care, and I can make that statement and feel good about it. Most rock music, we don't write from happy places. And it's okay to sing happy with Pharrell Williams. I get it. You're putting on your makeup in the morning. You're getting dressed. You're eating some eggs.
There's a place for that.
You're dancing around the house. But for me, and for Spencer, and I can speak for us, we don't create music out of a happy place. Scott Weiland didn't create music out of a happy place.
Right.
That's true.
But his music saved half the world, in my opinion. Kurt Cobain did not write.
Look at Chester
stoked.
Bennington. You go back and listen to any of those songs. He sings about his pain the whole time.
Chris Cornell, same
Chris
thing.
Cornell.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it. I mean, you realize
It's
it when you're
real.
listening to it,
It's
but
real.
it becomes tenfold after they're gone. And you go, wow. I mean, it impacts you again.
Dude,
Down
the
in a
song,
hole.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, on the last Linkin Park record, some of that stuff. Oh,
The Day I Tried to Live, songs like that, you just go, really? It was right in my face. I got it before, but now it's like crystal.
But that to me is what's inspiring about our genre and our format, is that we write from those places that no one else goes to or doesn't go to. Pop music doesn't go there as often. Do you know what I mean? Like, but rock, we go there every fucking time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that that's what has kept us alive as people, just period. And also as a band. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's made us stick around, literally, physically, and as a band.
And that's what you said. When you say go there, you mean we go there.
All the way in.
We don't shy away from the subjects that matter, that are affecting our life negatively, because there are people out there in this world that are just like us.
Dude, just go. I mean, without even listening to the record, you can just go read Erase Me and be like, I mean, you'll get it. Like, it's all real stuff that we just went through,
So Louder Than Life, we're going to see you there. I also saw, let's see, hold on. You have another show. You're going to be God damn it. Where's that at? You're going to be swinging back around. You're going to be in Cleveland. Oh, December 1st, Road Trip Agora Theater.
I'm going.
They redid it.
Yeah.
Apparently they've redone the Agora. I don't know that.
It looks good.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
We played there on our first tour back a couple of years ago, but we haven't been there since.
So I've kind of sort of hogged the conversation, but I think we've both just been impacted by just the conversation and listening. You had thought of some questions you wanted to ask. Do you have anything here?
One in particular was, I was just curious as we were talking, like, what is your favorite song to perform or off the new album, and why?
So far, right now, I don't know. I mean, I like playing Rapture live because there's so much going on. Like, our front of house guy records our set every night, which I don't know if we'll ever do anything with it. But when he checks the PA with it, and I hear that song and all the stuff that's where you can hear all the electronics, and it's such a cool song live that I think, unless you listen to it in a big stereo, you might not get it sometimes when you hear it, like on little iBuds or whatever. But I love playing that song.
We've only played 4 or 5 off the new record.
Yeah,
again,
so far.
Because we haven't done like a
big tour,
a proper U.S. tour. We did like a B market thing around all the Wimmer festivals. Then we went straight to Europe, and now we're here on this radio run. So we haven't done. So our proper tour is the one we just spoke about.
Yeah.
This November, December. So we'll definitely play more. My favorite track on the record is a song called "I Gave Up," which is the final track on the record, which is the heaviest thematic song we've ever written in terms of, it's like a piano ballad type thing that gets heavy at the end, but. We started writing that song the day before Chester passed away.
Wow.
And we were working on the lyrics of that song, and I walked into the studio, and Spencer looked like someone had taken his birthday away. It was just white. He goes, "Chester's dead." And that song is literally about that.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Well, we were going through... It was about situations in our life where we felt like that. A lot of the record has the theme of... that mistake, and I'll step on some toes and say that I think suicide is a mistake. I think that everyone that does it would probably take it back if they could. I really believe that in my heart, that, you know, because I've been there. I've thought about it, you know, many times. I've been really close.
I've fielded the phone calls, and I know that it's a mistake.
Yeah, I feel like that we definitely spoke about that on the record, and I feel like people need to talk about it, and people need to hear about it, because we keep losing people in this industry, and no one's talking about it. And I'm like, once again, I'm not going to shit talk pop music or hip hop, but pop culture right now with Instagram, it's about looking cool, how hot you are, how many likes you got, what badass car you got, what badass bitch you got on your side, all that stuff, and like being the man or being the woman or being the fucking, you know, like you are the shit, you know, like that's what our culture is right now. It's about being awesome. But
what about just being a good person? How about that?
But
That's
like, man,
that.
it's all. But
No,
you
you're right.
don't understand that all these
Absolutely.
You're right.
kids are looking at that, and when they don't feel like they're the shit, like that goes inwards, and that really hurts. And all your idols are like, man, you got 6,000 comments on a picture of you looking hot, and everyone's giving you, you know, it's like, and that's what the youth is looking at. That's what we even see. So we make a point on every night. We play this song called Bloodlust, which is another song about suicide. And I talk about it, and because I'm like, dude, I might not have the same spotlight that Kanye West does or anywhere close, but I'm going to at least use my 5 seconds that I got you in this room to talk about something serious, that it's seriously not to be ashamed of, to ask for help. Like, because I did it, and he's done it. Like getting help doesn't make you a lesser than or a weak person. And in our society, it's looked down upon it, and people make you, I know, parents, whether how good of a parent you are or not, you're like, oh, that's not my son. The bad kids get into drugs. The bad kids are the ones that hurt themselves or cut themselves, or, you know, I'm a great parent, and that's not my family. And it's not the parent's fault. It's not, you didn't do anything wrong. Just shit happens. Life changes. It changes you, and people deal with it in different ways, because we can't, for some reason, as human beings, we can't get in a room like this. Most people, we can't get in a room and have this conversation. We can't talk like this. So we keep fucking dying, and we keep fucking losing people that are really important. But think about the non-Chesters and the non-Chris's that no one knows about because they're not fucking famous.
So everybody thinks they're alone.
Yes.
Have you seen that? This is so dumb, but have you seen the new Amy Schumer movie, I Feel Pretty?
I have wanted to, though.
Okay, so Amy Schumer, as we know, is overweight, and she's not a model. And in the movie, she's so down on herself, and she works at this fancy magazine, or makeup line, sorry, where all these beautiful skinny women are. And she's down. I mean, she just hates her life because she's chubby and she's not a model. And in the movie, she goes to Soul Cycle and she falls and hits her head. It's so stupid, but she wakes up and she thinks she's hot, and she still looks the same. She's still Amy Schumer, but
she's got more confidence now.
she hit her head,
Yeah.
and now she's like, "Oh my God, I'm beautiful."
Yeah.
And she walks into the office like, "Fuck everyone! Like, look at my titties, I'm so hot." Like, no, I'm serious, and it's obviously
No,
it's,
it makes sense.
It's
'cause
funny
it's
in the
Amy Schumer,
it's
yes.
funny in the Amy Schumer way, but then she hits her head again, and she realizes that she thinks she's ugly again, and her whole life is ruined. And then at the end of the movie, and it's actually a hopeful movie, she realizes like that shit doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's not reality. And that's what scares me the most. And that's why we have this record. And that's why we're having this conversation, is because, like he just said, what about the people that aren't Amy Schumer and aren't Chris Cornell and aren't Chester? Like, we're fucked. We are fucked if we don't bring that to societal awareness and say, look, like, this phone that you hold and this Instagram and how many followers you have and how clear your skin is and how beautiful you are, that is not real, because in 5 years it'll be something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not important, but it is real to these people. Like, you do feel that. Like, if you don't feel pretty, it is a real feeling. But we just need be able to communicate and talk and like be human beings to each other and stop putting up these fucking,
walls.
And I want to know how many times that fucking, I don't know, Katy Perry is put this hot picture, but maybe she's actually hurting or something. Like, I watched the Lady Gaga documentary, and she's in a lot of pain, and the way she speaks about it, I actually grew so much.
She's so great.
I grew
She's the
so
best.
much appreciation for her. I wanted to hug her, not
Yeah.
because I'm gonna help her, just because I was like, dude, thank you for doing this. And like the Demi Lovato DVD, which and unfortunately something just happened to her yesterday, which I heard was a fabrication of the truth with the whole heroin thing, because she gets ridiculed all the time. But man, like, it's more people being real like that. Like, I don't listen to Lady Gaga really or Demi Lovato, but I respect those women more than a lot of my friends and peers because of what they have done with their spotlight, which is like let the guard down and be honest. Because young women and young men, they need to see it. Like, and I, as an adult, I saw it and felt incredible. Like, I felt a connection. I felt like I wanted to speak more with people because there's someone actually saying something and doing something.
When Chester Bennington passed away, which was to the year, of the whole Chris Cornell thing, and right around that
Crazy.
time, it was just
To the
nuts.
date, yeah.
The gentleman that's on the air right now, Nuber, who you might have been listening to on your way in.
I think that's who it was.
Nuber and I took time on the air. We were all in the building, and we just opened up. We're our music station, but we opened up the microphones and the phones and just started talking about it. We were probably on there for like 2 hours.
That's
we had
huge.
the most intense. I was crying. We both just talked about our own personal experiences with thoughts of things and stuff that we'd been through. Listeners were calling in. We were fielding texts. It was the most intense. Like, I have goosebumps. It was the most intense, real 2 hours in the 27 years of radio I've ever been on the air that I ever felt that. It was like, I'm going to cry. Like, it was intense.
Yeah,
So you had the lady balls, though, to do that with your product, which is this station. And I think that people listen, thousands of people, let's look at the facts. Thousands and thousands of people listen to you talk on the air. Thousands. And if you have the lady balls to come out and say, I've thought about this too, and he's thought about this too, and this has happened to us too, that's it. That's the wall breaker right there, is when Spencer says on stage every night in front of 10,000 people, look, like, I have tried to commit suicide, and I picked up the phone and called someone, which was me. Mm-hmm. And he even says it. We get that honest with it. He'll point to me and go, and I called him. You know what I mean? Like, that is the crux. That is the catalyst. That's how you make this shit work. Because if you are too afraid to only talk about this in private and not expend what you have, which is the radio or the stage or film, if we don't start doing that, it's going to keep happening. People will keep dying.
Well, in our situation, you have an audience. I have an audience. What's great is that we're taking the time to do it, because I am the fortunate one. I get to sing about it. That's therapy for me. That every time I get on stage and admit, yes, I am. I was a drug. Well, I've been off drugs for almost 2 years, but I still consider myself a drug addict. And I did try to commit suicide. I have asked for help. The more I say these things, it becomes real for me. It's therapy for me. I'm the lucky one. I get to speak it out loud and say it. So the least we can do with our audiences is be honest with people because we have an
Right.
audience. Because those people, it might spark a conversation with those people, and they will have, they'll look to their friend and be like, hey, man, like, on the drive home from that show, or when they're listening to you in the car, be like, hey, man, like, I'm like dealing with that right now, and they'll actually talk about it.
Yeah.
Because us with spotlights and us with the lucky fucking people that get to do what we do, we've got to use it. I just feel like we have to. Otherwise,
Agreed.
you're going to lay on your deathbed and be like, I fucked up. I fucked up. Like, I sat there and talked about how fucking awesome I am and what car I drive and how hot my fucking wife is and all my money, and I could have been talking about some real shit.
Something real.
Yeah.
Well, this is a first for me. We were talking first. I've never done an interview and like started crying. Like, that's insane. But the intense conversation's been really great with you guys. I
Been so
appreciate
good.
it.
Thank you so much.
And your music, you know, before to today, whether you've got people that are giving you shit about, well, you wimped out, or that's all horse shit.
Yeah, we
you
don't
know, you
fucking
grow
care.
up, you start writing and recording the music that is your life, and that's growing up, and everybody does it, and they can go fuck off. And like you said before, and you've said, our old records are still there. They're
are.
not going anywhere. Go listen to them.
You don't get arrested if you listen to them.
Right. It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
They still exist.
You can
But-
still pop on Led Zeppelin and the Metallica Black record, whatever the hell you want. You know, it's still there.
Well, again, thanks for your time
Thank you so
today.
much.
Aaron and Spencer from
Thank you.
Underoath. We'll see you guys at Louder Than Life in Louisville,
Yeah.
Kentucky. We'll see you December 1st, Agora, Cleveland.
Oh, December. Oh, we are coming close.
Yeah,
She
Cleveland.
just said that,
Couple
dumbass.
hours up.
I know, but I we had the conversation in the car. I was like, are we coming
We should
close
get you guys to
enough?
bring out your state. You guys got a van or an SUV. You should bring it out, park it out front. We should do a big thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
we've
should
been
do that.
telling all the stations that have been inviting Under Oath, we've been trying to have that conversation as well. As like the key to getting these younger kids, in my opinion, because I go to shows even when I'm not at shows, is like when you see a band you don't expect in, they're sponsoring the show or they're giving away some tickets and they park the thing out front and they hang all their banners across the balcony. And the kids will start associating, like, oh, they're at an Under Oath show and they see all the radio stuff, or they're at a Crown the Empire show or a Dance Gavin Dance show or a Thrice show, and they see the radio is involved in this band.
Right.
They start to be like, oh, I'm going to put that on, or I'll reprogram that back.
Yeah,
in my
we've been
car.
inviting
Like,
every station we go
it's like,
to.
you
to
guys
our
should
fall
definitely
tour. Come out, bring your van.
You should get
That makes sense.
You should have tickets to give away. Like,
We'll give you the
involve
tickets.
your-
We'll give you every piece of ammunition you need to make it worth your while too.
Cool.
You know, so
If you involve
we're
your
hoping-
listeners, we involve them. You know, we want it. We want this all this shit to grow. You know.
We should do like an Underoath road trip or something, and get like a mini party bus or something to drive up
We
there.
have the means to do that.
Yeah,
That would be tight.
that'd be great.
cool.
Yeah.
I gotta pee my pants. I have to go.
I'm hungry.
You guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the road.
Thank you.
Aaron and Spencer, Under Oath. Get that new record, Erase Me, on the Blitz.